Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Film Geek here, and last night I went and saw Love and Other Drugs. There was a lot of Anne Hathaway's boobs in this movie. A lot of Anne Hathaway nudity. And I actually thought that, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, the movie was made worse because of the excessive amounts of Anne Hathaway nudity. One or two scenes would have been fine, but I think you'd probably rack up a good 10-15 minutes worth of Anne Hathaway nudity. And while normally I would think Anne Hathaway nudity was a good thing, I felt like it kind of derailed this movie a little bit. This movie was a much more touching film than I thought it was going to be, but that touchingness was destroyed by nipples everywhere. I will give the movie lots of credit. It was a great movie. It had an awesome story that was like kind of a little bit cliche, but pretty original, despite a few cliche moments here and there that made it feel like 90s rom-coms. And the acting was great. Both Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway were absolutely superb. Anne Hathaway more so than Jake Gyllenhaal. She was just fantastic, but the fact that she was bearing it all over the place was a little, it seemed a little odd, first off, coming from her, since she does a lot of nudity in her movies, but usually it's like a flash here and there. This movie was like filled with her, all of her. And it just seemed kind of odd. It just kind of threw me. Like, the very first time, like, you know, when the part that you see in the trailer where Jake Gyllenhaal is pretending to be an intern and she pops her boob out and he's in there, like, that was okay. And the very first time when she, like, full nudity, like, that was okay. But then they kept showing more and more and more of it all, and it was just, like, enough. And yes, I know how ridiculous it is that I am saying that too much nudity in a movie made it worse. Must be the first sign of the apocalypse or something, but it really threw me. Like, the nudity of Anne Hathaway is like the main thing of this movie that sticks out in my head. This movie would have gotten a solid 4.5 out of 5 from me, but I feel like they just showed a bunch of boobs to show a bunch of boobs and say, hey, look, we have Anne Hathaway naked all over the place. And that just kind of cheap. So I give this movie instead a 3.5 out of 5. I don't even know what else to talk about this movie, because the boobs are like all that's ingrained in my head.